Leadership come in all shapes and sizes, and in this video, we're going to look at the 5 common leadership styles that most leaders have. Have a look at it and find out which one you are. Stay tuned. Okay, the debate is common about which leadership style is most effective. And the answer is, of course, it all depends. Welcome to Leadership Live. Again, I said my name is Ndumi, and today we're going to discuss the 5 main leadership styles and how this will affect you as a leader. We're going to go through the pros and cons as well so that you understand leadership and the different leadership styles that are out there. So if you're there, please give us a shout out in the comments. I like to read your comments. So if you're there, please shout out leadership style or leadership, whatever you'd like to say before we get into the video. And again, if you're watching from the replay, you're more than welcome here. We live stream every Wednesday evening at 8 p.m. So we're just happy to have you here with us. Let's jump straight into the content. Again, the 5 most common leadership styles. So number 1 is autocratic. So autocratic leaders will inform everyone of the clear goals, the objectives, the things that they want to have done, and tell you exactly how to get there. Everyone understands the role that they're playing within the team and what position basically they have to fill out. And they're provided with all the guidelines they need. So they're given all the tools that they need in order to succeed in their goals. And unfortunately, if a new strategy is implemented, the team might not, in fact, they do not have any way of discussing or debating the outcome or the way forward. So all goals, procedures, tasks, and everything, as I've mentioned, are decided by the leader, and they will be delegated amongst everyone. So the team also faces dire consequences if their goals are not met. So which area would you find autocratic leadership style? And that is in the army. The army is a very good example of the autocratic leadership style because the people or the soldiers don't have a choice about what mission to go on, which targets to hit, all of that. They're actually given everything, and there actually is no debate about where they should go, how they should do it. It's the leaders from the top down with the authority who come down and say, this is what the goal is, and this is what the mission is, and you have no choice over it. And so we find this style also within lots of businesses as well, even unfortunately in families as well, this autocratic style of leadership. But it works in certain places, It works in places which are also highly technical and specialized jobs. So if you're a pilot, for example, even though you work with a team, with your cabin crew and all of that, a cabin crew member can't come to the pilot and say, I think this turbulence is not that bad. Why don't we go through it instead of fly over it? Then you're putting people in danger. So there are definitely places where an autocratic style of leadership is necessary. And I was saying the example of the army, the example of a pilot, because these are highly specialized, highly technical jobs where it's either do or die, sink or swim. So the burden really has to be on the leader's shoulder, and that's why they're more autocratic. The benefits of this is that decisions can be made quickly. If you can't, have a round table when war is happening and discuss and sit down, you actually have to make quick and fast decisions. And also, it's more efficient, unfortunately. It's more efficient that, you just get the job done. You don't need many people to come around and to discuss the issue, but you just power on and go straight forward into the problem at hand. And the drawbacks of an autocratic style of leadership is that there's no room for other people's views. We know that lots of people have things that they can share and give to a team. And if they're not allowed to do that, then the team ultimately loses because those good ideas go to waste. And secondly, low job satisfaction. Many people who work under this style of leadership unfortunately face low satisfaction just because they've got no room to grow. There's not much say that they have within the organization as a whole. So, a summary sentence I would give for this type of leadership style is it's my way or the highway. Number two, it is laissez-faire. Laissez-faire is a French word, so I hope that I'm pronouncing it properly. But laissez-faire, loosely translated, means do as you will. So essentially, someone with a laissez-faire um, leadership style has a more hands-off approach, a more, you can do it by yourself, you know what you need to do, go ahead and do the job. So it's a more laid back, as I had said, and this applies to people that need more of a creative outcome in whatever they're working towards. So for creatives, this is a better style because you're not hampered by deadlines and timelines and structure and those kind of things that would hamper the creative process. But you're more free to be who you want to be and to bring out that creative outcome. So, like I said, it's cruise for places where deadlines are not crucial and team members get to manage themselves. Um, the employees are given the resources that they need and they're told, all right, here's a lump of clay and the spinner and the water and the kiln or what is it, the oven, create a pot. That is how it is. So they're given all the resources that they need to achieve the outcome, but it's now really up to them to bring that outcome out. So the leader just provides information for them and trusts that they know what they need to do to get the job done. So where does this work? Like I said, this is more for creative jobs, people where they have to create things, and it's more of an emotional and mental process rather than time-based. So the creatives definitely fall under that, as well as people that are, if you're talking about a company, maybe research and development, product development, maybe that's where laissez-faire approach is more important because they're testing things, they're doing things, they're trying to come up with something new and innovative. And you can't really do that with lots of systems and structures weighing you down. So it's very important for this kind of job to have a more laissez-faire approach to life. So yeah. So there we go. Relaxed, taking it easy, doing what needs to be done when it needs to be done. No worry in the world. That is laissez-faire. So if you're in there in the comments and I've mispronounced laissez-faire, please let me know. Or type in laissez-faire if that is you, or if you're autocratic, type in the word autocratic. And as we go through this and you see the different leadership styles, please go through and type it out. So I hope you are getting any value from this. If you are, please hit the like button. It helps the YouTube algorithm know to spread this video to other people. So I appreciate that. And please make sure to leave comments and questions. Oh, the summary sentence. Sorry, let me go back. I actually forgot that to add the drawbacks. The drawbacks of laissez-faire is that there's a lack of accountability. So because you can do whatever you want, whenever you want, however you want, there tends to be a lack of accountability there. And it's hard to pin people down and say, but this is a deadline, because there are no deadlines with laissez-faire. And again, subordinates would perform poorly most of the time because where things don't get measured, they don't get done. There's a saying, what gets measured gets done. But if you're not necessarily measuring the output of any subordinate, you're more likely for them not to do the job. So that's also one of the drawbacks for laissez-faire. And the summary sentence for someone who loves the laissez-faire management style or leadership style is let love lead. Just que sera, sera, whatever will be, let the process be led by itself. So now we're moving on to the third management style, which is the coach. So the coach is a very interesting management style um, because they're like, let's consider this. So it's a more of a team effort. I mean, just the word coach already implies team and camaraderie and being together as a unit. So that's what the coach does. He brings people together and let's consider this. How are we going to tackle this? What is the best play here? What's the best move here? And they take the best from everyone and put it together. So the coach's job really is to bring out the best out of everyone, to bring out what is inside of them, all the skills and the talent that is within them, to draw it out firstly, and then to polish it and hone it for the benefit of the team. So that is that type of leadership style. So yeah, they see people's talent as something that needs to be unlocked, and they're open to people. That's one thing about a coach. They're really open to people. They're more people persons, people, and they love getting with the people and being with them and helping them out and helping them achieve what they can be. And they believe that the power is there within themselves. That as a teammate, you have the power to be the best you that you can be, and to then their job is to bring that out. So a coaching leader gives people little direction to help them tap into their ability and achieve all that they're capable of. So a coach again will give a little bit of direction, but it's not mostly directive. It's more not autocratic. It's more of a let's come together. How do we see this? Okay, and you can move in it. So they don't necessarily as well impose their decision. Sometimes they have to, and they will if they have to, but it's always for the better of the team as well. So that is it. Like I said, they're people focused. They love people. So what they do is for the people as well. So where would this work? This would work in an area where training is important, where people need to work together and come together. That is where the coach is very important, where on-the-job training is necessary. So the coach is someone who says, all right, this job requires a lot of on-the-job training, and I'm going to walk with you through this process until you get to a place where you're competent by yourself. So even in sales, if you look at sales, sales managers tend to bring in new talent, someone who hasn't necessarily been in sales. I had a sales job once when I was at university, and I had to sell different products in a shopping mall and various shopping malls. And I remember my boss then, he was a coach, so he would show me that, okay, this is the script that you have to follow. These are some of the objections that you'll get as you follow the script. This is how you counter them, but it's okay, you can do it. And then, puts me out there for a bit to get some game time, so to speak, and then pulls me out when I'm in the deep end, or comes and saves me. That's how a coach works. So a coach is more pushing the team to succeed as a whole, their teammates, each member to achieve what they can. So what are the benefits of this? Is that a coach actually can replicate themselves, because they're coaching someone, they're teaching them the ropes, they're getting them to a new level, higher level of competency and skill. They actually then end up replicating themselves and growing the team, and then become more effective. So then it also another thing is that it builds trust and camaraderie. When you're in a team and you're working together and you have each other's backs, then you form a camaraderie which makes you highly performing, that takes you further, that drives you on. So coaching is very important, but there are some drawbacks. And two of those is that coaching takes time initially. So, imagine like in this picture here, the coach has got these children in front of him, and one day one of them could be the next Kaká or Ronaldo or Messi or whoever, right? But at this stage, there isn't really much of that talent that you can see. So, coach has to nurture that talent, has to bring it forth and then polish it and then make it active or produce for the team. So unfortunately, that can take time. So with the coaching method, you have to be patient and you have to have the time to be able to coach people to get them to the desired outcome. And secondly, is that the team is also held back by the weakest link, because we say this is a team environment, and if the team members, if they're not up to scratch, then that can hold back the team's performance as a whole. So, as they say, only as strong as your weakest link. But the summary sentence for someone who's a coach, they would be saying, we can do this together. Let's come in, let's huddle, let's focus, let's go for the goal, because together we can do this. Great. I hope you're enjoying so far as we go on to number 4. And number 4 is the visionary. So the visionary leader uses the power of vision to motivate people. So this is what their key tool is. So they tend to be more outgoing, they tend to be more charismatic, they tend to be good at sales, people that can sell water to a well, people that can cast a vision that is big and enthralling and engulfing. That is what a visionary is. So they're seeing the future and they take that future and share it with their team members until they get to a point where the team members internalize that vision for themselves. So that's what a visionary does. So they're showing someone a future, a better goal, a better place where they could be. They're not there yet, but they could be there, and they've never seen it before. But this leader has seen it and is able to share that vision well. So they galvanize people alongside a vision and say, come together, this is what we want to see. We want to see a world without hunger. We want to see a world without poverty. We want to create the best phone in the world. We want to, whatever it is, something that hasn't been achieved yet, but they are able to bring people around it to achieve that goal. So where would this be best? So this best works in places where you're building something new. So it's either a new brand or a new organization. Something, when you're building that from scratch, from the ground up, you need someone who's going to cast a vision, someone who's going to show people where they're going to go. Why are we even here? So the vision is more of the why as well, to say, we're tired of people having to use a head, what was it called? A Walkman. If you know what a Walkman is, please type down in the comments. Walkman, I used to have one, they were awesome. A Walkman, why do I need to have my phone, the big phone there, and all these other things, a calendar, all these things. Why can't we just put it on one device? And everyone was like, what? I've never heard of this before. This is revolutionary, this is visionary. And that's what made Apple what it is today, with the likes of Steve Jobs, who just had that vision of making life simpler for people. So this is what a visionary does. So they come to set in something new, and when they're attempting something that has not been done. So if you're trying to say, all right, this hasn't been done before, but we can do it, I always think about the first person who ran the 4-minute mile. I've forgotten his name. If you know his name, please type it down in the comments. But he was the first. Before, for years, I think it was in the 60s, people would run and they thought it was actually physically impossible to run a 4 mile 1.6 kilometers in less than 4 minutes. But he did. I think his name is Baxter. And then once he did, right, within the same year, there were already like another handful of people who did it. And now in 2020, it's common. Lots of people run a mile in less than 4 minutes. But he was the one who had the vision to say, I can do this. I know no one has done it before, but I believe someone else can do it. I can do it. So he ran with it. And once he did that, he opened the floodgates for everyone else to do it, because that's what a visionary does. They see what is unseen, they see the impossible, and then they run to it to achieve their goals. So what is the benefit of this? So the team sees the vision and they know what they're running towards. So they get to see the outcome before they get there. It's unlike sometimes with, the autocratic style, they might not understand why the pieces are moving, where they're moving, and what the total outcome is. And yes, rightly so, maybe in the army for security and all of that, no one should know the full picture apart from the generals. But that is how it works. A visionary will show you the lay of the land, they'll show you the outcome, and they'll show you where you're going. And it's very important. And then what I think is even more critical, for a leader who is a visionary is that they move and they transition from making leadership or motivation external. So why are you late for work? Why didn't you do this? All the external motivation that people tend to get from maybe some of the other leadership styles. With a visionary, the motivation becomes internal. Same with a coach, that the motivation becomes within inside themselves, the desire to see this vision come to pass, the desire to do the impossible, the desire to start something new and fresh from the ground. So being a visionary is very important. But the drawbacks are these type of leaders tend to be pie in the sky. They're so far ahead. They're so outside of the realm of thought that they can't dial it back into what are the current steps, what are the systems we need to put in place for this to work out, what are the deliverables, what are the goals, how do we reverse engineer this vision? And they struggle to do that. So they need someone who comes alongside of them, a good manager who will follow behind and build structures and build the things that they need. And if you missed my last video where we're discussing management versus leadership, you can click it over there if you're watching on the replay. And you will see that some of these leaders, and a visionary is one, that leadership and management work together. And a visionary leader needs someone who can help manage that process, because they know where they're going, but they might not understand the steps to get there. However, I have to shout out Elon Musk, who is a leader kind of like that. He's so visionary, but yet he's been able to take the steps and think about it methodically and bring that vision to fruition. But it's very difficult. Most visionary leaders need someone to help back them up. And then, like I said, that there's the second drawback is that there's a disconnect between the vision and the leader. So sometimes where the leader might not live up to their vision in terms of maybe character-wise or ability-wise, etc., that could lead to a lack of motivation in teams. So you actually do the opposite, where you actually are not a credible visionary because you might not know how to get there or you haven't thought about it. So a visionary needs to be able to put in that system there so that they can go forward. But the summary for a visionary leader is live the dream. So that's it. They're bringing the dreams to life. They're bringing the dreams to reality. And they're calling people and galvanizing people to actually live the dream. So let's move on to the fifth common leadership style. And that is now the servant leader. So the servant leader is someone who unfortunately has to toe the line between being a leader and being a servant. There's always that tension and that pull, because you have to lead, but you also have to serve. So I think about it as a bicycle, how one pedal is slightly above the other, and as you push one, the other one rises up, and you have to push the other one, and the other one rises up. That is the dichotomy that a servant leader has to have. But they're putting the spotlight on the employees. So if a servant leader doesn't have the spotlight on themselves, but they're putting the spotlight on the employees, so sort of like a coach, where the spotlight is on the team. The servant leader is similar, that they put the spotlight on the team, and while management or the big bosses are usually behind the scenes. So they make basically the the employees or the team the heroes of the story and not themselves. And they're just behind managing in the background, but also getting in and dirty, rolling up their sleeves, getting into the trenches with them. And that's what's very particular about a servant leader, that they won't ask you to do something that they can't do themselves, or if they can't, they won't ask you if they are not willing to also give it a try. So that is important for a servant leader. Again, decisions are made as well, discussed. Maybe in a group settings, they realize that everyone's view is important. So they'll listen to everyone's view and try get the best out of everyone's view for the team in order to move forward. And like I said, they lead with others in mind. So it's not about themselves, their glory, their vision, their goals, their outcomes, but it's more about others reaching their goals. Are they meeting their vision? Are they reaching their outcomes? Where this works is in organizations or things where the mission is critical. It's mission critical. So you can see that in things like NGOs where the mission, like I was saying, to have no one die of hunger from 2030 going forward. That is a powerful mission that the servant will say, come, let's go and do it together. Let's go dig a well. Let's go hand out food. Let's go and do this. The servant leader is the one who's pushing, but he's almost leading from the front in terms of motivation, but leading from the back in terms of notoriety. So he's pushing people to go, say, go, 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 and cross the line first, sort of thing. But in sense of vision is or leading is also pushing from, he or she is pushing from the front. So this also works with companies with flat organizational structures. So I don't want to get technical, but basically where there are not too many layers if you're thinking about your organizational chart, where it's now a big bureaucracy, and that's where autocratic leadership style also thrive, where it's a very high leadership organizational structure, where there are different channels and different people reporting to different people. But a servant leader likes a flatter organizational structure. So where it's the team, one person and them, or just the team and them. That is more of the style or the company that a servant leader would thrive in. So what are the benefits of a servant leader? As you can see, the team trusts and connects with the leader, because like you can see here in this picture, the leader is helping the person up. In fact, the leader has already gotten up that mountain, i.e. they can do the work, and then they're pulling up the next person. So they work and then they help people get to the next level. That's the benefit. Another benefit is that the credit of the achievement goes to the whole instead of just the leader and to the individual. And that does wonders for motivation. If you want to motivate people, don't take the credit for yourself as a leader. Make sure that you're passing on the credit to other people, because as long as you're keeping the credit for yourself and not for your team and for the organization, then you lose a bit of respect and the team will actually lose motivation. And then some of the drawbacks is that, unfortunately, as well with the with a servant leader, people can mistake their kindness for weakness, which means that authority might be undermined. So a servant leader needs to always watch out for that. Like I said with the pedals, serving, leading, serving, leading, serving, leading, so that they understand that, okay, this is a time where I might need to show my authority and push back and show that I know where I'm going, I know where the team is going, and that's not to then take that kindness and mistake it for weakness. So the summary sentence for a servant leader, he or she comes into the office and says, "Where can I help? What's happening? What's on your desk? Where can I help? What do you need done? What calls do I need to make for you? What emails do you need me to send so that you can achieve your targets and your goals or the things that you want?" So that is what I would summarize a servant leader is. So in summary, what leadership style are you? From the 5 that we have read, have you figured out where you stand? Do you know which one of the 5 you are? And which one is better? Let me know in the comments which one you think is better, whether you think it's the Autocratic or the Laissez-Faire or the Coach, and the other 2 there. Leave it down in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. But the crux of the matter is, as you ask yourself, which leader are you, is understanding that as a leader, you will build your own style of leadership. You will take a little bit from here, a little bit from there, and you'll form your own style of leadership. So don't feel like, I have some characteristics that are autocratic. Does that mean that's who I am only? Am I just a bullying boss? Or I'm laissez-faire? Does that mean I can't get things done? You will form your own leadership style, and it's also determined also on your surroundings. But it's okay. In the next video, we will discuss how to find your leadership style. So for Leadership Live, next video, we will discuss how to find your leadership style. As we wrap up, I want to share this quote by Daniel Coleman, who says, "The best leaders don't know just one style of leadership. They're skilled at several and have the flexibility to switch between styles as the circumstances dictate." So that is the big take home for today, that you are able to be flexible and you can change your leadership style based on the circumstances and what the circumstances dictate for you. So without further ado, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please make sure to subscribe, and you can watch the video down below where I was talking about leadership versus management, and you can check out another video that I have for you. Thank you for watching this live stream. Take care and see you on the next video.